know, the availability of coins outside the United States and Europe is still sketchy at best. Do you have trouble getting any kind of size in coins, Melody?
The area where it is slim is actually, it's difficult to purchase and to find any like 10, mint state 65, $20 liberties. Some of your higher generic grades are more difficult to purchase today. Not the 63s. Even the 63 liberties are a little tough. 64 liberties are a little tough. 65, they're 5 at a time, 3 at a time. So that's where the tightness is. The gold eagles, the bullion coins, the pressure on that has been eliminated somewhat. I'd say we've seen a slacking off on those since about April 15th, during the tax season, and now heading into this holiday season. Premiums have come down somewhat also. But that's about it. But the market is always thin, and it doesn't take a lot of increased buying to change it around. I mean, it doesn't take anything to take off 100 to 200 coins off the table, off the shelf, and all of a sudden you're back into a tight supply again. And that's what everyone forgets.
Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of figured that what was going on, and I think we got a shot here at 1,000 again. And if we go through it, and we go to 1050 or 1200 or something like that, and back and fill above 1,000, you're going to see tremendous amounts of professional money coming into the market. There's a lot in there already. And one of the problems is these ETFs, which is SLD and GLD. I am absolutely convinced that they do not have the gold and silver that they say they have. And I think there's going to be a major scandal. And, we're talking billions and billions of dollars. I mean, they're talking about, I think it's 1,058 tons. And it's a lot of gold in GLD. There's something wrong there. I don't know what it is, but I just don't think they've got it. I think they've done futures contracts and things like that to protect themselves, but maybe they haven't. Maybe they're running naked. I mean, corporate America today, they're just nothing but a bunch of crooks. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I would always agree. Well, 99% of the time I agree with you, Bob.
Back when I was young, I didn't realize that the corruption existed the way it does in the corporate world. I just didn't imagine it. I know that people cut corners. And the same with government. When I went to university, I thought there were good guys and bad guys, and I didn't think business did those things, and I was a little bit skeptical of the federal government. I know local governments were corrupt because I experienced it, living in the city and so on. But after I get through with counterintelligence, I knew that the government had been and was and is irretrievably corrupt, and so is in business. It's horrible to have to admit such a thing, but it's true. Sure, there's a lot of good, honest businessmen out there. But unfortunately, there's an awful lot of bad people out there, too. A lot more than there used to be. And it's very disconcerting. And, how do you teach somebody who's young the ins and outs of the corruption? It's very hard.
What's different today, Bob, is people agree to the corruption. They're aware of the corruption. Today they believe everything and everyone is corrupt, but nothing is done about it. It's an accepted practice anymore. And it does, if somebody is making a buck, they throw that corruptness, they throw everything underneath the rug because they're along for the ride. They're going to take the dollar, and so it just doesn't matter anymore.
Gee, I just saw a video where a driver almost ran over a policeman. And he was in the road. I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe there was an accident or something. And so this guy didn't hit the policeman, but he was driving fast. And he took off, and the police chased him. And this person's car turned over, and he was thrown from it. And he was unconscious on the ground, and the policemen, there were about 5 or 6, were trying to beat him to death, kicking him and hitting with clubs, and the guy's unconscious. I mean, it's unbelievable the stuff that's going on. I mean, what can these policemen be thinking about? I don't know what's happened to society. And that will be in the next issue, I promise you. We pick up a lot of good stuff. And the stuff that's I can't repeat or replace, and it's better off using a link. I use the link. You notice each issue I use about 20 links, plus the 40 pages you're getting. So if you want to know what's going on, it's all there. You're not missing anything. And you're not going to see that on CNN or any of the other major stations. The acceptance of my program that I'm doing on the Federal Reserve is really good. I was on in Wisconsin today on ABC, I think it was, and one of the subscribers called in, and I didn't know he was listening, and asked a question, which I answered. But management at the station was quite impressed. I think it was La Crosse, Wisconsin. And said, gee, you get subscribers everywhere. But, it's Ron Paul's bill regarding the Federal Reserve 1207. It's so important that you write every congressman and tell them one way or another you want it out of committee, and you want it voted on, and you want it passed. We want to get rid of the Federal Reserve. And we got a shot at doing it. And Washington's furious. And I'm amazed that these people are letting me on these major radio stations. And so it'll remain to be seen if they'll let me continue to do it. And as you know, you reach thousands of people, sometimes millions, on some of these stations. I had one guy tell me his station was is it 50 watt or 500 watt or 5,000 watt? What's a big one?
Would be usually 100,000.
Okay, well this must have been a 500,000, or it was with a 5. He called it a flamethrower.
I don't know of any of 500,000. I know.
So maybe it was
50,000.
Yeah, I guess it was 50. But a lot of these programs are nationwide, and so they're reaching a lot of people. And I haven't talked to Ron Paul about it, and nor am I in any way hooked up with him on it. I just decided that was a good thing to do. And it, of course, brings people in who might subscribe as well, and that helps the cause. But anyway, I have I just got one question here today, and if the question is, Jimmy Rogers has stated time and time again that we will have a major currency later in the year. Do you think he's saying this based on experience, or rather he's had a few words with his buddy George Soros, who already knows about this, just like he manipulated sterling in 1992, question mark. It's actually 1990. This is from Ari. And, you got to stop for a minute. And you have to be a little bit introspective and a little bit investigative, and you got to take a step to the right and get out of the box, and you got to look at Jimmy's background. His background is he was relatively